Okay, so going with the theme of the session, I thought I'll actually put up my 15 years of experience together at 3 different organizations, obviously. And what I tried to put here is what generally goes wrong in the organization and how it should be. Okay. Yeah. So the theme is innovation process management at different stages of R&D, and I decided to actually stick to exactly what it is. Okay. So these are contents. We are going to discuss about innovation, not definition of innovation. Everybody knows about it. A dilemma in the innovation process, elements in R&D, effective IP management. Since IP and innovation are connected, I would like to talk about that. Systematic innovation, and then summary. So not going to be pretty long session. And then we'll open up for discussion, maybe after other speakers speak. Fine. So innovation, why do we do innovation? So innovation is actually for business value, right? We do innovation to add business value, either add business value or create business value. And then it has to be timely, it has to be systematic, and it has to be cost effective. If we miss any of these 3 things, innovation is not really doing its job. And why we need business value? We need business value for competitive advantage. And what competitive advantage gives every company is actually monetization, money. Either make money or save money. So that's what exactly IP, innovation, and say the whole process or competitive advantage does. Okay, now when we think about innovation, idea to innovation, the whole process actually involves 3 things: product, process, people. And if you see, product is actually product or service. Process is internal process in your organization, and people will impact the top 2 points, that is product or process. Now I say this because if you have good people and the management is good, the product will be very good. And if you don't have this happening well, if the process is not really well, people actually can screw the 2 points at the top. So managing these points is essential for successful innovation and monetization. And there was a survey, I picked it from Dolbin Group report Business Week, and they had asked this question that what is the innovation success globally? And the answer is only 4%. This is surprising. Okay, now coming to innovation, there are 2 types of innovation, as you know. One is breakthrough innovation, and second is incremental innovation. And incremental innovation typically is efficiency improvement, cost reduction, quality improvement, etc. Now, what is the dilemma? The dilemma here is that big companies are poor innovators. Okay, not that all small companies innovate very well. Poor innovators in the sense of breakthrough innovations, I mean. Okay, and that happens because mainly they have fixed business model. Okay, less risk in actually following the same thing. Okay, something is working, let's continue working on the same thing. Okay, rather than trying something different. Process driven, they are too much process driven at times. Okay, too many processes for approvals, for complicated processes, complex IT interfaces. So what happens is, as the organization grows, many more processes come in, and with those many more processes, there is actually hindrance to the whole process, and that affects innovation. Impatience to try something that is really creative. Okay, we don't want to do something different, and impatience to failure. Like if some innovation process or R&D process actually fails, there's an impatience. Why did it fail? Let's stop doing this. Let's continue. Let's go back and continue what we were doing earlier. Okay, so if adventure is dangerous, and try routine, and that's what they do actually. We know examples of Kodak and Nokia. What happened to them? Okay, so what they get, or what these companies get because of these business model or these processes, is incremental innovation. So we don't see many breakthrough innovations coming from big companies. That is the dilemma. So how do we get breakthrough innovations? Okay, so we have to, or every organization has to foster curiosity and creativity, and that is required. So and to do that, what is required is either too much security, like companies like Google, or insecurity. Think about startups. Okay, in between actually there is a problem. Now there are 3 main components of innovation process per se. One is idea, second is the invention, and third is the monetization. Now out of these, 2 points fall in R&D. Monetization is actually commercialization. So idea and invention. Now if we think about the whole process of innovation, there are multiple, I have actually broken down this into multiple steps or multiple elements of the process. One is enabling and empowering management. If the lower order or the middle order is trying to do something good, but if the management is not really supportive in doing that, okay, I don't think innovation is really possible from the bottom level. At times, the support has to come from top down. Okay, empowered and integrated cooperating departments and employees. Why I say that? If there is no coordination between different departments like marketing, R&D, IP, or other departments, the whole process of the goal of innovation won't be achieved. It is difficult to achieve that goal. Okay, then comes actually point 3 to 7, which actually fall under today's discussion. E-documentation, enabling search ability and leveraging earlier successes and failure. Problems and need identification, ideation and successful selecting solutions, focused R&D, and effective IP management. And these points from 3 to 7 fall under, I would say, different stages of R&D, and then finally is the commercialization, which we will not discuss. So let's look at e-documentation. I'm now going to talk about each of these points. When we talk about e-documentation, it is required at all stages of innovation, okay, and that would actually positively influence all processes, including innovation. Okay, what all comes under e-documentation? Lab notebooks, ideas, all ideas to be documented electronically, invention disclosures internally, patent prosecution documents, everything that happens between you and the patent office, okay, even opposition litigation documents, and securing and managing information flow at different department, different stages between different divisions is difficult. For example, if I have, say, ideation or ideas electronic available only for R&D guys and not for commercial guys, that is not going to serve the purpose. So we have to have this idea database to be open for every employee in the company, because we cannot say that idea will come only from R&D people. We have to actually think that idea can come from every person. Maybe these patent prosecution documents can be restricted to the legal team. So accordingly, we have to see to whom we have to give access and to whom we have to not. We should not. But we have to think broadly and try to give access to as many people as possible, so that more people impact your whole process of innovation. Okay, but simple electronic workflow would do in this case actually in transferring the information from one department to the other department. Okay, and the whole idea behind this e-documentation is allowing or enabling search, sharing, avoiding duplication of work, evaluation, approval, monitoring, and automation. Maybe at times setting alert for different stages of innovation. So all this is possible only when you have e-documentation. The moment you take out in any of these points and do paper documentation, we are losing the flow. And the moment we lose the flow, we are not going to get the full from the innovation process. Okay. Next is problem or need identification. Now, why do we innovate? Why do we need to innovate? Okay. We have to solve or cater to current or future problem or need. Okay? And then where do these things come from? These things come from either feedback from the end user, like your final customer, feedback from your client, which could be industry, trend identification from the market, and IP analysis. So you do analysis and look at what is going out there, or do landscaping and kind of analysis, and then understand what is maybe future need, and then you need to have vision that, oh, after 10 years, something is going to change, and this technology is going to come in the market. And then, so that is rare, but there is a possibility. So once we have any of this information, we know that there is a need or there is a problem that should be solved beforehand. So what is required for that? We need to exactly define the need or the problem that is to be solved. The moment we don't have the right problem identified or defined, I think we would be solving a wrong problem. Okay, next is ideation. Coming to ideation, what happens in ideation at times, 10 people ideate and boss is sitting there and boss says, oh, that won't work. Okay, this is good, but we will see. Or this is difficult to implement. So what is happening in the ideation process? I am already telling my people that your idea is not going to work, your idea will take time, your idea is useless. Okay, that is not going to help in ideation sessions. So this point is important. No bureaucracy, no conservative approach, no overpowering. Okay? If managers know everything, other brains are not really required. Then only manager can work, right? Okay. So collect all need or problems More needs and problem means more opportunities. So you have to actually identify more and more opportunities for your company to innovate. We have to prioritize these needs, okay, to be catered or problems to be solved. And before killing any idea, we have to actually tell the person from whom this idea came that, okay, we are not pursuing this idea for this and this reason. At times what happens, you collect ideas, say I collect idea from all of you, and then I'm doing evaluation of those ideas, and I kill actually 50 ideas, and I don't tell you. What happens? Next time you won't participate, I'm sure, right? Okay. So these people might not be, okay, at times what happens, suppose somebody from R&D gives idea, not every R&D person is good at financials, calculations. And what happens that I will ask for R&D person, give me NPV of that product. So what happens, that person, the R&D person doesn't know where to get this information from. So you will have to actually provide platform or people who can actually do this kind of calculations, financial calculation, and help that R&D guy to come up with this idea. Rather than you did not provide NPV, I'm killing your idea, abandoning your idea. That doesn't work. Here actually you might be killing a very good idea from R&D person. So we have to actually, our managers actually should look at these problems very closely. Then there is value and they will actually support the innovation process. So collect all ideas, more people, more ideas. And what is important here is when we collect ideas, as I said earlier in e-documentation, we have to have collaborative portals, internal or external. Now if you are really open company, you believe in taking ideas from outside world for your problems, you can do that. If you are not open, it is okay, but you can keep it internally, at least open to all employees of your organization. Keep access simple. What happens? You have a different login ID for your computer, and for this ideation or say portal, you again have another login ID and password. I tend to forget login ID and password. So what will happen? The moment, and if the tool actually requires to change your login ID and password every 3 months, again there is a difficulty. Nobody will put your ideas there. So you have to provide simple access internally at least. Keep ideas organized in a simple way. The moment we have complex interface to put idea and complex interface to fill in those forms which are all with mandatory fields, you are not going to get good responses. Let people write whatever they want. For example, R&D person writing about the idea, allow financial person to put financials there. That way you are actually compelling collaboration within the organization, rather than saying that since the R&D person did not put the financials, we are not going to work on this idea. Okay, think beyond this. You'll get time to contemplate on this, and my presentation will be available. But these are all actually real problems in the organizations. Okay, create a team of cross-functional people to ideate. Okay, cross-functional because, as I said, you may need an engineer, chemistry person, you may need somebody from say supply chain, you may need somebody from say marketing. So all these people are required to ideate. I believe idea cannot come only from R&D people. So use tools like brainstorming, trails, etc. Involve people who brought the need or problem. So if in the ideation session we don't involve the people who actually brought the problem, what could happen that we could be actually ideating in the wrong direction, not really trying to solve the problem that is really there in the market. So it is good to involve those people. That gives actually them ownership to actually follow the process till the end. Selecting solutions. Evaluate or screen ideas from both sources. So what happens? From wherever, like collaborative portal, internal, external, or cross functional teams, you have ideas coming in. We have to screen those ideas now. Now, if we have too many metrics, steps, or criteria to select the ideas, we are already killing the ideas. If for every idea, if you look for time required, like 6 months, oh, not good. 1 year, not at all good. 1 week, very good. If this is the way you are going to really look at the ideas, then you are not going to get breakthrough solutions. You have to actually choose best idea in terms of its merits, that it is going to solve problem very nicely say, but it is going to take time. Now ask people to innovate on how to reduce the time. So select the best idea, not based on metrics like time required and feasibility. If you choose every problem which is based on say a solution based on its feasibility to implement, you are looking for incremental innovations. You are not really looking for breakthrough innovations. Involved persons, again, every time I have this sentence because I have seen at times people are sidelined. Person who brings in information or problem, the person who brings in idea, the person who has actually solved the problem in R&D, these people are actually sidelined or not considered when the idea actually is implemented in the production. And at times what happens is the production team or the marketing team gets the award, and all these people who brought the problem, who solved the problem, who worked on the problem, or who suggested the solutions are not at all given credit. That's bad. Okay? Provide transparent feedback for non-selected ideas. That is important. Now focus R&D. Imagine based on the idea. R&D people know how to imagine. Okay, so start with the end in the mind. So what is that required to solve, and then they'll start with the end in the mind. And lesser the processes and specifics. You cannot tell R&D people that you solve this problem this way only in 7 days time. No, it doesn't work that way. You leave R&D people alone. You tell them the problem. You tell them to solve, maybe timeline, but don't tell them exactly how you want it to be solved. Because if you tell everything how it should be solved, then they are not required. And they don't like that. Keep it open. More passionate and creative team. You need actually people to be more passionate and creative. Show them, tell them, let them do it, and praise them for what they have done. And then I believe you will get very good output from R&D. Okay? So change for better. Kaizen is one of the principles used in Six Sigma. Okay? So discover, invent, or POC. POC is proof of concept. So when you actually look for this, use techniques like design of experiments called DOE in Six Sigma again, Lean, and other tools that are available. Okay? And you can have ideation sessions, or R&D should have ideation sessions within R&D to solve problems or troubleshoot problems in the R&D process. So it's not that only the first ideation session to get the ideas was good enough. No, at times in R&D also there would be problems in the process, there would be problems in implementation, execution, and for that also ideation should be required. Coming to IP and R&D, collaboration between R&D, IP, and commercial is a must. Okay? Now, if you have IP, at times in companies, IP is divided into two, IP R&D and IP legal. IP legal is the one who actually files, prosecutes, litigates. And IP R&D is the team which actually search, analyze, and then provide support to R&D, business, as well as attorneys through search and analysis. Okay? Now, in case if there are two separate departments, integration or collaboration between these two departments is also essential. And if that doesn't exist, if attorneys really do not work with IP search and analysis team or IPS, either way, I think you do not get what you really expect from innovation. Okay? I talk about both teams. Okay, fine. Now, effective IP management, why this is important? Okay, now this is actually essential part of your innovation. IP team, I believe IP team can support every step of innovation. I don't say that they lead, I said they support, okay? They should be part of every step of innovation. For ideation, they should provide prior art, landscape, block space before ideation so that people go, read, contemplate, and come back with ideas. Allow people to contemplate, yeah. So R&D, prior art searches for selected ideas. So you have selected ideas from ideation. Now for each of those ideas, you have to see if somebody else has already done that. Is it worth pursuing that? Are you going to get freedom to operate on those ideas, or if you implement those things? So before going to R&D, this check is required. Okay. Also non-infringement, troubleshooting problems in R&D. You know, troubleshooting problem in R&D, how IP team can really help. I'll give you one example. There is a process in which a product comes with yellow color, and now R&D people at this moment don't know how to remove this yellow color. They can go back to R&D team, IP team. IP team can do searches for the same product and find if somebody else in the world had faced similar problem and solve. And there is a possibility that there was a research article on this. This is a real example. Okay, so it is possible to find problems for your problems in manufacturing as well as problem in R&D. Okay, another example I will give you. There is, say, a cyclic impurity getting formed in the preparation of one of the products, and then now you want to know if somebody else in the world had already faced this problem, and if they have already removed this cyclic product in the byproduct in the preparation of your product. Possible. There is a possibility that you get exact document talking about the same, and then your process becomes easy, right? Rather than you do your R&D and troubleshoot the problem on your own, it is good to refer to the record and then solve this problem. So troubleshooting is something where IP team, IP R&D team can really participate. Doing patentability and non-infringement analysis of work solution is additional. Now, IP team also participate in filing, application, prosecution, etc., and then finding infringements and potential licensing. Now, coming to systematic innovation, it has to be timely, systematic, and cost-effective. We saw it earlier. Systematic, I have put question mark because innovation cannot be systematic. Innovation means, I believe, what I call it actually, the creative thinking cannot be really systematic, but you have to provide systematic platform for that. The moment you provide processes, systematic platform, including tools like Trace, I think you are allowing people to think creatively and fostering their creativity. That is what is required. And the process really has to be simple, which is user-friendly, transparent, non-demotivating people, and flexible. Okay? Okay, let me summarize whatever I spoke so far. Okay? So we have to have simple and elegant processes. Use information technology only for recording, knowledge sharing, and smooth workflow, not to hinder the access and the user friendliness of the system. Foster collaboration through innovation and credit sharing, which is very much important. Define